Welcome to yet another session of Multilingual Poets and Poetry group. We call ourselves the Multilingual Babblers in loose terms. We like to explore other languages, write poetry in Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, English, and even Hinglish. It can start with English, have Urdu in the middle, and then it can end with Punjabi. So be ready. So guys, without taking too much of your time with my own babbling, I'd like to introduce you to our first poet. He says he's the oldest of us. His sharp wit, exuberance, and zest for life, and even the twinkle in the eyes says otherwise. I would really like to check his badge. We have Arun Chadda, Nilgiri 54, with a cynical view of humanity. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you so much. And well, I wrote this poem in 2005, but it's applicable even today. So bear with me. The title is Digitizing Heaven. Circa 2037, knock on the pearly gates. Bill Gates, megabucks, wants entry. St. Peter pouring over records, yellowing papers, clock ticking, furrowed brow. You are very, very wealthy, many opportunities to alleviate suffering, fell short. Can't send you to hell, you did no evil. So to halfway house on the outskirts of heaven, probation for 6 months. Do good, entry to heaven, fail, back to Iraq. So what do? Press fallen, Bill takes gilded belongings to dorm, ventures out. Sees hundreds, nay thousands of angels, double-winged, extra-striped, guardian angels, bigger halos, almost all on cell phones, answering prayers from terra firma, swooping down, alleviating suffering, soothing sorrow, pain. Another section, saints of yore, sojourning in heaven, reading, dialoguing, how to increase divinity on Mother Earth. Many pitching in, helping angels, overflow of calls. Bill has an idea. The megawatt bulb in the cranium lights up. Let's digitize heaven. Calls town hall meeting. Bill Klein and George W. also on probation attend. Let's add voicemail to heaven's central switchboard. Calls get streamlined to heaven's central. Calls get streamlined, directed to appropriate angels and seers. Yeah, good idea, resounds in the Great Hall. Throughput will increase many times over. Let's define the initial message. What should it be? You have reached the house of the Lord God Jesus Christ. Just wait a minute. Great clamor. How about Allah or Krishna or Elohim? Okay, so no names of the Lord. Just say you have reached the house of the Lord. How may I direct your call? Press 1 for Allah. Wait, stop. What's wrong with you? Swamis, popes, rabbis spoke up. Why Allah first for pressing 1? Why not Krishna, Jesus, or Elohim? Okay, said Bill. Draw straws to decide order later. Suppose a Christian calls, obviously he'd get solace from elders of his own faith in heaven. So press A if Catholic, B for Protestant, C if Jehovah. Stop. Again, clamor. Why not the reverse order? Bill, frustration showing, beads of sweat on forehead, said, okay, let's tackle later. Let's switch to Hindus. Press A for Krishna, B for Brahma, C for Shiva. Stop. Why Hinduism first? Why not Eastern religions? Why not Mahavir or Jain avatar? Dalai Lama, what about Buddhism? The elderly Chinese, what about Shinto? Bill, shoulders drooping. Wait, Judaism may be easier. Press 1 for the Hasidic raised their voices, as did the conservatives, the Orthodox and the Reformists. Bill, looking like a cornered animal, turns to Islam. You have reached the house of Allah. Press 1 for the Shiites. We should be first. Sunnis, no, we should be. Baha'i spoke up. What about us? We believe in Muhammad too. The Sufis, the Ismailis followed suit. In despair, Bill turned to St. Peter. Teary-eyed, lip quivering. This is worse than Microsoft with all its antitrust troubles. Tremulous voice, utter agony. Did you say Iraq? When the nest talked to Iraq. God watching wistfully. I am omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, yet even in heaven, They limit me by name and form, not recognizing we are all the same. Thank you.
Very
Wow,
good.
that was
Very good.
Lovely. Beautiful.
I love the long list of religions, all wanting them to be first.
Precisely what is happening around us today.
Well, I wrote this in 2005. It's still applicable today, and it probably will be a long time when I'm gone. We got to wake up.
Very true.
Thank you, Arun. That was very well written and very well narrated as well.
Thank you.
I love the squeaky voice that you did out there. It's it kind of kind of took it to another level.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the stop.
Yes, and stop with an American accent.
Stop. We've got to perfect that now.
Yeah.
I've been here longer than most of you before you were born, guys.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Arun.
Yeah, that's see, I told you to keep doing that again. Can you guys believe it? He does it, he just did it again. He said he's the oldest.
I am.
Look at him.
My mental age is 7, though. My mental age is 7, so I know that. So you gotta be a kid at heart.
Thank you. So moving on, we have next poet. She is the star of the group. Tugbandi और हाजिर जवाबी में इनका जवाब नहीं. No one can beat her. She's blessed with both thought and the language prowess to express that thought. She is an artist, a curator, our very own charming and beautiful Amrita Verma, HGD 97. She's going to do an English and a Hindi poem.
Thanks, Anjum.
On her life right now.
I think we are a bunch of friends who inspire each other, and that's how things happen. But my poems are usually from everything which is around me, and they tend to have multiple layers and visuals. So be ready for that when you're going through it. So the visuals keep shifting within my work. Anyway, I'll start with it. It's called Predicament, the first English poem. It's called Predicament. The slow winding roads of patience we walk along. The tallies of people who cross to the other sides, the list has been long. There is an ebb and flow of hope and despair, but for how long? I question with a graceful home and a safe hearth, it feels all wrong. Being happy for life and love feels selfish at times. The very nature of joy those would bring in these times is denied. Through the haze of what to feel and what not, knowing the light lies in that you did your bit of what was sought. The predicament of life is a funny piece, singing a preposterous and dignified magnum opus when one could be dancing carefree in the breeze. We were not just supposed to populate and die like the birds and the bees. It is in these predicaments one finds that humility and wisdom that brings you to your knees. To take a glimpse from that kaleidoscope of life, to be able to derive simple pleasures sans strife, to be free to hug, walk, and travel around, to be healthy with food on the table and a job you're passionate about, to see what others see, to hear what grows one and makes you feel free, to rise beyond your station and gain respect of your fellow men, to love freely and laugh till the day's end, to be, just be, with friends and family, to enjoy togetherness, warmth, peace, and harmony with no agenda or ploy, to be bonded in intimacies and friendships like alloy. These are the riches one seeks. These are what makes us billionaires in times like these. Lessons learned from a minuscule dot showing tough love. Nature has unpredictable ways of making us rise above. To these times, lest we forget, let's raise a toast to the ones who fought to their last and the ones born to take the voice forward of generations past. We are a mighty company. When we get together, never give in, sing, dance, love, and live abundantly. To all the events in the past, I am glad for recently, and the ones that we try hard to ensure are dimmed out pleasantly, lay to rest with hope and empathy to be able to see a future more clearly. It has been a predicament. This life is a statement. Two sides of a coin revealed. The nether and the other, they are there for us to deal. Both at the same time and place, both at the same time and place for us meant, it is all ours to accept, finding our own solace and future in this predicament. Thank you. This was my first one.
Excellent.
Very, very good. Very nice.
Thank you. Now my the Hindi poem, this is a short one, but it has a very deep meaning from what some of you may gather them, but it's called Diware. आंखें वहीं दीवारों को देखती थक गई, आंखें वहीं दीवारों को देखते थक गई, लोगों की ख्वाहिशों के रंगीले पर्दे पे निगाह गई, लोगों की ख्वाहिशों के रंगीले पर्दे पे निगाह गई, हम सन्नाटे में मदहोशियों के आलम को ढूंढते रह गए, अंदर झांको कहते वो मस्त हवा के झोंके आंधियों में जा मिल गए. Thank you.
Very nice.
Hot and sweet. Amrita, short.
Wow.
Excellent.
Hot and
Lovely.
sweet.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you,
you.
Amrita. That was
Thank you. Thank you,
The
everyone.
first,
really
the
nice.
first one was really profound. Very
Well
nice.
done, Amrita. That is really good.
Our next poet is a heavyweight and is going to take us back to the hilltop. With his nostalgia abound, here is Major General AGS Sandhu. He's VBD 62. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anju. You used the wrong word for me. Those who have seen me, I am in actual fact a lightweight.
Well, in
Very
that
slim.
and the participation and the way it's this poetry. I mean, you're the heavyweight of poetry.
Thank you so much. Okay, now before I recite the poem, a brief introduction, and this may be a repetition for those of you who heard it 2 days ago. I wrote this poem on the cannons, our famous cannons, which were an everyday sight for us when we went to Birdwood. We crossed them umpteen times. But very few of us know the history of these cannons, which came to Sanar almost a century ago. That's actually 93 years ago. Nobody knows the history of these, where were they made and how did they finally land up in Sanar. These guns were manufactured in an arsenal in Turkey. And in the First World War, they were used extensively by Turkey. I mean, such guns. And these two were obviously used in one of the places where the Turkish armed forces were involved. And they were involved either in Gallipoli, which is on the coast of the Black Sea, the European part of Turkey, or in Mesopotamia, which is now more or less most of the Middle East, or in Palestine or Egypt. And somewhere amongst these 4 places, they were captured, these two. As per the narrative, it is said that they were captured in Gallipoli in a battle of Krithia by the 14th Firozpur Sikhs. But that is a battle where we were decimated, where 27 officers out of the 30 and I don't know how many JCOs and men died. And the command actually passed to a lieutenant of 2 years service. And we just about pulled out. So whether they were captured there or not, one doesn't know. But wherever they were captured, finally they were brought to India and put in Firozpur, from where they landed up in Sanar. A little bit more of this I will tell you after the poem. So I put the history or the journey of these cannons in a short verse, which I'll read out now. It's titled, We Are the Cannons of Sanar. We are the cannons of Sanar, but how many know who we really are? In front of Birdwood now we stand, but we were born in a foreign land. We are the cannons of Sanar. Children have come and children have gone. All of us came to Sanar, studied, and off we went. But these guns stayed there. Children have come and children have gone while we stood guard from dusk to dawn. Come hell or high weather, we will continue to be together. We are the cannons of Sanar. Born in Turkey, we were soon put to test. During the Great War, we fired our best. It did not matter who was in front. It was our job to confront. We are the cannons of Sanar. The enemy charged our positions on the hill. At them we fired, and we fired to kill. We hit our targets. We saw them fall. Men and horses, big and small. We are the cannons of Sanar. Soon the tide turned and we were captured by the Indian Army. After a battle, which was very, very stormy. Brought to India in Firozpur, we were stored. And there we stayed, completely ignored. We are the cannons of Sanar. In the year of the Lord, 1928, we were relocated at a new estate. This was the Lawrence School at Sanar in recognition of its contribution in the Great War. We are the cannons of Sanar. We now stand outside the Birdwood building with our looks quite forbidding. Overlooking the cenotaph is our final resting place. Here we will remain with abiding grace. We are the cannons of Sanar. Thank you. Now, this was the poem, short poem.
Beautiful. Lovely, sir.
Thank you. I'll just take a minute more because I'll tell you 4 more date lines just as a matter of interest because we are all Sanarians here. It's connected with the cannons only and the cenotaph. And as you know, the 4 dates, the first date is 1920. As you know, we started off by the name Lawrence Asylum, which quickly became Lawrence Military Asylum. And that's the way it remained till the Great War, the First World War. When the First World War started, there was a lot of nationalistic fervor on the hilltop in Sanar. A lot of children, the boys that is, and of course some of the girls also for that matter, and the teachers and instructors wanted to volunteer to fight the war. After some time, permission came and they were allowed. And I think 3 or 4 batches of Sanarians went, of students and staff. They were given very basic training in Sialkot and they were launched in Europe or Mesopotamia or wherever. It was, these boys were in their teens, still wet around their ears. And it was like going from the playing fields of the playing fields of Barnes to the battlefields of France or Mesopotamia. They went straight there. Many of them were killed, many wounded, many had PTSD. And there are many who wrote letters to Sanar from the battlefield too. I've got 1 or 2 at least with me. I dug them out. Now, it was because of our contribution to the Great War that the King Emperor of England conferred the title of military schools to a handful of schools in England and in India. Sanar was one of them. And this conferment came in 1920. We became Lawrence Loyal Military School in 1920. 2 years later, the Prince of Wales came to India and in an impressive parade held in Dehradun, where our contingent went along with the headmaster, we were presented with the new colors, the old colors we had from 1853. And these new colors continued to be trooped in the NCC parade, certainly in the 50s and 60s when I was there. I don't know which colors are trooped now. The colors are still trooped, but I don't know which of them now. So that was 1922. Now, in 1925, Field Marshal Lord Birdwood, with whom we have a great connection, he became the Commander-in-Chief of India. And he came up with the idea that since Sanar has contributed so much to the war effort, we must make a cenotaph. And he then ordered 2 guns from the Firozpur arsenal to be moved to Sanar. And they landed up in Sanar in 1928. That's the year I quoted in the poem. But the cenotaph was made in 1929. And the man who unveiled it, and these guns were sighted at the present location in 1929. Earlier, they were somewhere else. And the man who unveiled the cenotaph was none other than Field Marshal Birdwood himself. So there are three connections of Birdwood here. He unveils the cenotaph. Before that, he sends two guns. And before that, he commanded, this part I forgot to tell you, he was the commander of the Allied forces in Gallipoli, where these guns are supposed to have been captured. So I thought I'll round off this poem by putting this part also. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Sir, thank you, because the history which you shared, we had no clue about. And
I
I
know.
think there's more personalization towards those canons, even though we had it like one of the, motives of Sana for us.
I have
Even
a
I didn't know,
suggestion, Master.
Amrita, even I didn't know Sonar, by the way.
And our next poet is presenting for the first time, and we are also listening to him for the first time. He is both loved, he's loved both by the present Sonarians as well as the OS. We are honored that he consented to join us. Here is our current headmaster, who is also an OS, Headmaster Himmat Singh Dhillon, HBD 89. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Ma'am Siddiqui. It's an honor and it's very humbling to be here. And, I just had this thought that when days are good, everything is perfect and we don't need that boost from anyone because life is so good. But then there are other days where, things don't work perfectly and where the motto comes in, which is never given. So this is a poem which is about that. It's about hope. It's about what we must do when the clouds are out, the sun isn't shining, and the chips are down. And it's basically about never give in being something very important. So I'll start. Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day. Because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place. Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last. And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be attained only if one's surroundings are good. It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control, and you'll never in a million years hear me say, today was a very good day. And you'll never in a million years hear me say, it's all beyond my control. My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good. True happiness can be attained because it's all in the mind and heart. And it's not true that satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if this world is a pretty evil place, because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever. Thank you.
Excellent, sir. Excellent.
Wonderful,
Sir.
wonderful, very wonderful.
Very,
Lovely.
very good. That was a very well done and very well written poem, I must say.
Very nice.
Very well done. Well done.
Very nicely. Thank you, sir. It was, it kind of, I think we should read this every day.
Inspirational.
Yeah, very inspirational. We should read your poem and, maybe hear this recording every day, beginning of the day, so that you're able to face the day.
Anjum, it's
better.
not mine. I'd heard it, overseas.
I
And
see.
the interesting thing is, it's the same words, but when you change the order of the words, it becomes truly inspirational and gives hope. Same words.
I see.
So at a certain point, you reverse the poem and you make it the opposite in meaning, and everything is good after that.
Oh,
And just a little thing, I'm VBD 89.
oh, VB, what did I say? Okay, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Okay,
HD tells me it's a better house, but
I'm sorry. I
VBD.
don't know why I thought you were Himalayan.
So you can't
So
be
you're
ready
not
to-
wearing,
No,
you're not wearing a
Vindhya
red,
was
red
the
shirt.
best house.
That's why.
Mehra sir, it's in the background. The curtains.
Oh, the
The
red.
curtains.
Nice to see you,
Yes.
Mehra sir.
Thank you so much, Himmat.
Thank you.
That's really nice. And I'm very happy that you joined us and you recited for us. And it's so lovely to see you. And,
It's an honor. Thank you.
and it's extra nice that you are in Sanar right now. So it just gives you like warm, fuzzy feeling. Hope.
Privilege. Being in Sanar is a privileged feeling.
Yes, a privileged feeling. Yeah. Thank you. We move on to our next poet. I'm going to recite a couplet from Sahil Ludhanvi. This kind of sets the tone for our next poet. If I have your permission. इस तरफ से गुजरे थे काफिले बहारों के इस तरफ से गुजरे थे काफिले बहारों के आज तक सुलगते हैं जख्म राहगुजारों के. This next poet is a retired High Court judge, and before I knew him, I thought he was a serious sort of a person, and I would just short of calling him Your Honor. I used to kind of maintain my seriousness with him. But when I got to know him well enough, I realized that he reserves his sanjeedgi for his work and poetry. So here's the next poet. He explores the dark side of life, his poetry style. He explores the dark side of life.
Thank you, Anjum, everything. And yes, the poem is a little dark, and it's intended to be dark. It's a little reminder of what we went through. And a brief 2 minutes, I'll just speak something about violence against women before I go on to the poem, which is actually about violence against women. That we as a people were horrified by almost all sorts of brutal acts, and then somehow we go into a state of amnesia and push all brutality into some corner of our minds, and only to revive it when we have this so-called second wave, and now we're waiting for the third wave, and we've forgotten everything. So I'm just taking you back to the time of the first wave and what happened in UP. A small little poem on that. The title of my poem, appropriately you all would know, is Hathras. Hathras is the place in Indian history where probably I think I don't need to describe what happened there, but my poem is completely based on that incident. So I just take leave to start. It is dark. It is, for me, it's heart-wrenching. I don't know whether it is the same for all of you. So it starts like this. Dhuan hui hu main hathras mein. Dhuan hui hu main hathras mein. This refers to that scene which all of you must have seen on TV of the pyre burning and the police standing aside and the journalists making videos and clicking photographs. So I'll repeat these words again. Dhuan hui hu main hathras mein. Udhar abhi baki hai. ए जिंदगी जरा रुक, काम अभी बाकी है. These few words are the anguish of the soul that's left us. कि मेरा उधार कौन चुकाएगा, मेरा काम बाकी कौन करेगा. And then the refrain which I've written, it goes like this. ये हाथरस की आग है, बुझने ना पाए. ये हाथरस की आग है, बुझने ना पाए. But as you're all aware, I'm purposely paraphrasing. Everybody's forgotten Hathras. We had another rape case in UP 3 days ago of a small little girl being raped, and we'll forget it again. We'll have some other thing to look at, some other thing to say. So a small request to everybody, Hathras ki aag is just a metaphor I'm using. So Hathras ki aag hai, bujhne na paaye. Ye Ganga ki dharti, ye Yamuna ki tehzeeb. We've just sanctified ourselves in bathing in the Kumbh. Ye Durga ki puja, ye Saraswati ke pujari, ye Allah और ईसा के मुरीद. ये आग का बिस्तर किसका है? I'm again asking you to visualize that scene which you all saw on television. ये आग का बिस्तर किसका है? ये लपटें, ये चीखें, ये चिंगारियां किसकी है? I'm sorry, it's getting a little brutal, but that's what it is. ये लपटें, ये चीखें, ये चिंगारियां किसकी हैं? ये मैं हूं, ये आप हो, कि ये हम सब हैं? ये लपटें तुम्हारी हैं, ये चिंगारियां तुम्हारी हैं, ये चीखें भी तुम्हारी हैं. ये हाथरस की आग है, बुझने ना पाए. ये खाकी का ना, खाकी मीन्स पुलिस, खाकी का ना दोष है, ना कचहरी का, ना कोर्ट का. ये दोष मेरा है, ये दोष तुम्हारा है. ये खाकी का ना दोष, ना कचहरी का. ये दोष मेरा है, ये दोष तुम्हारा है. And then I'll end with the same stanzas again. ये चीखें मेरी हैं, ये चिंगारियां मेरी हैं. ये आग किसने लगाई? I'm asking you this question. जवाब कौन देगा? जवाब ये चिता देगी. ये हाथरस की आग है, बुझने ना पाए. That's where I ended. ये हाथरस की आग है, बुझने ना पाए. I'm really sorry for making it so serious, but that's what I feel. I wrote it. In fact, I wrote this the very next day that I watched all that on television. But I've kept it. Vinay knows it. I've said it. I recited it a couple of days back, a little bit. But then this is something which I feel we all need to ensure कि हाथरस की आग बुझने ना पाए. Thank you very much.
Rajiv, that was very, very touching, and it really brings it to focus what's happening in our country. Very touching. And also very inspiring. We can't forget it.
And we shouldn't either.
Yeah.
It should be a daily, like we had Master's poem in daily morning. This should be a daily afternoon. This thing for everybody.
It should be to ponder over. One should ponder over these things that are happening all around. Brutal.
And then execute whatever actions you can from your end around you.
Right.
Misogyny is a no-no.
So I'm all for
women is paramount. I'm sorry, I'm going on.
Not at all.
We'll discuss it at the end.
Yes.
We will discuss it at the end.
I'm reminded of, I don't know where I heard it. मुझे खबर नहीं गम क्या है और खुशी क्या है. ये जिंदगी की है सूरत तो जिंदगी क्या है. Makes me think that, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Very good. Very nice.
I forget who's the poet, but it kind of rang very true to what sometimes when things are the way they are. Anyway, we have hope. There is always, after a tough time, there is success, and perseverance gives way to success. Yes, we know that. And here is our late bloomer who started writing, and we got the privilege of listening to him a little later. And पर वो कहते हैं कि देर आए पर दुरुस्त आए. सही आए हैं आप, Colonel H.P. Singh. He's Nilgiri BD 89. Over to you, Colonel.
Thank you, Anjum. देर आए ये हमारी गुस्ताखी थी, दुरुस्त आए ये जस्टिस भल्ला की कामयाबी थी.
Wow, that's what I mean. Like it's
I am the disciple of Justice Bhalla for getting me into this group and coaxing me day in and day out for writing something on poetry. I mean, to write a poem. And finally, I've done something. It's my maiden piece, and I hope you guys will like it. The theme is how to deal with your own self once you feel you have not succeeded. Now I'm turning 50 this year. I have seen a lot of failures. I'm sure everybody would have seen, be it in class, in marks, in promotions, in your career, in your family, relationship, or things which are beyond your control. We can work hard till a point, but beyond that, say some other power which takes over. Now, I wrote the poem much later, but about 15, 20 years back. Just for your information, I'm a helicopter pilot, and one of the tasks is to save lives, the injured people from the battleground. So once we took off, we could not land at the place where they were encountered around because of bad weather. We had to return, and that boy finally died. I was a young captain that time. I felt very bad. I've seen a lot of deaths after that, but that being the first one at the impressionable age of 28, 29, I felt I'm a failure. But then I was told that I tried my best. Weather was not in my hands. The machine couldn't go through it, and I had my limitations. Now I am not God. So the theme is around that, and the underlying theme is Gita Sar. कि आप अपना कर्म करो और फल की प्रतीक्षा मत करो. I repeat, अपना फल करो और फल की प्रतीक्षा मत करो. So here I start. The title is At Least I Tried. We have come in this world with a purpose for a cause. One wonders whether this life has been an inspiration or a pause. Success has many fathers to tell the tale of joy, but failure is often rejected, unwanted, and coy. The world is not black and white with its innumerable shades of gray. Perseverance may get you results, but providence will certainly make you pray. Then why should there be remorse when you fail to make a gain? When you are not the doer, then why this grief and pain? No love is everlasting, no relationship so secure. In rise, they will all follow. In fall, most will simply abjure. Success tastes sweet as honey, and failure coarse and dry. Never should one's conscience say that why did you not try? Success may have eluded you, but these failures are certainly thine. The grapes may have been sour, but they did make a heady wine. The day when summons come, there shall be no regret. For as fate decides, so does one beget. And the last stanza is, in life, things could have been better had the luck not dried. I repeat, in my life, things could have been better had the luck not dried. But one shall not be held guilty, for at least one has amply tried. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Well done, good.
And sir, you say that these are your first efforts, but it looks like you're a seasoned poet. You've been hiding somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir.
Seasoned prose
Yeah,
Group has been a catalyst to bring his art out.
HP, very good.
Wonderful. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
He only mentioned that it is his first poem, but he's been writing for many years for middles of newspapers and stuff. He's a writer.
Yeah,
No
yes.
wonder.
His prose is excellent. Excellent prose.
This
Thank
is my
you.
first jump in poetry.
Very
So
nice.
I think you're
Thank
going
you
to
so much,
excel.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Amazing, HP. That was really nice.
Thank you, Anjum.
Just it like leaves you with a hope and जैसे फैज थी राह बसर सर बसर मंजिल फैज थी राह सर बसर मंजिल हम जहां पहुंचे कामयाब आए.
Wow. Wow.
So
Lovely.
like it's the hope and it's what that
बहुत
keeps
खूब,
you
बहुत खूब,
going.
बहुत खूब.
Whatever may be the path that you take, if you are you have to have hope, I guess, and that's what our next poet is going to be talking about, and that's because that's what we are left after all is over, hope. Our next poet is actually the ringleader, our ringleader, and who keeps us all together, the glue that binds us all. And we're very happy that she started this. She got us going. And here's Vinay Tuli. She is Shivalik 61 with a message of hope. Over to you, Vinay.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjum. And thank you for all of you for being here. That's really wonderful. So my poem starts off, of course, a little sadly, but is about hope at the end of it all. So it says, autumn shades, lovely, deep, gorgeous colors, the best of nature's palette, desert the tree outside my window. Winter approaches. The tree now ready for hibernation, almost like a naked skeleton, giving the tree a haunted look, abandonment. Through the harshest months of deprivation, I think it says, preserve your strength in difficult times. Spring will come, buds and leaves will grow, prettier, stronger, ready to take on one and all. The other is the feeling of alone, of being left without hope, with a dark, dry trunk, limbs that reach into the sky, searching the air in desperation, leafless, lifeless, stark. But wait, we have hope. Nature will have its way. That fixed cycle of rejuvenation cannot be thwarted. So why worry? It's gone, but it will come back. Like all the good things in our life, things will come back, stronger and ever more beautiful. Never doubt, leaving us forever full of gratitude. Thank you, and always be full of hope. That's what Sanar is all about. Never give in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was
Lovely,
lovely.
lovely, wonderful, wonderful. Lovely.
Excellent, Vinay, excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Thank you so much. That was really nice. It's like autumn, and then we move on, and then we become. That's right.
We have the spring round the corner.
Yeah.
Yes, totally, totally.
उम्मीद के सहारे दुनिया कायम है.
Right, right.
हमेशा के लिए.
अगर आप लोग ने सुना है तो कनाडा ड्राई का स्लोगन है, डर के आगे जीत है.
ये माउंटेन ड्यू का भी स्लोगन है.
माउंटेन व्यू, सॉरी, आई वाज नॉट श्योर किसका है. इंडिया में माउंटेन व्यू का स्लोगन डर के आगे जीत है. Bound to the light. That's the power of poetry. And we have Gauri Shahani. She is actually not an OS, but she has two daughters who both are OS or PS also. They're presently in Sanara. Are they, Gauri?
No, OS.
They both are OS, so I thought, well, I guess maybe they were then. And she is going to tell us, कैसे डर के आगे जीत है.
Yeah.
डर से डरना नहीं चाहिए.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's been my motto of life. Never give in. Cenarian motto is my motto also.
Yeah.
So yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me this chance. My mentor here is Miss nobody else but Miss Amrita Verma. So yeah, I'm going to read, I'm going to recite a poem by a very famous poet, Joubran Khalil Joubran, also known as Khalil Gibran in English. So he was a Lebanese American poet and a visual artist of the late 1800s and early 1900s. I'm sorry, I wasn't confident enough to read one of my poems. Maybe next time, perhaps. This time, pardon me. So his poem, The Fear, has inspired me a lot because though he wrote it in 1923, stands true till date. And he cites the reversibility of water stream to the ocean and of becoming the ocean. So this was a lesson that we fear losing our small identities in the world, but if we are able to let go of that fear, there's something much bigger and better awaiting us. So hope you enjoy the poem. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled from the peak of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. Thank you.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Very
Lovely,
good.
lovely.
Lovely.
These are
nice.
actually
Very nice.
profound words. Thank you.
Very nice.
Nice, really nice. It's like you're right. Once you have started on, you cannot go back. It is, we would like to go back and rectify our mistakes, but that's kind of not possible.
And maybe we're meant to take those journeys. Maybe that's where our brightness lies.
Take the next step. That's what it is. Take the next step. Always. Surrender to the Lord Almighty. Trust something bigger, better is going to happen.
I would like to take like 2 minutes before I just need to get a glass of water. The next poet is me. And before I start, I just...
Okay, we'll introduce you while you get your glass of water.
Yes,
don't
please.
worry.
You don't talk behind my back.
Go for it.
Your back is right there.
It's all wrong, whatever they're going to say. Don't believe them.
She's an amazing
Anjum is gorgeous. Is that wrong? She's very talented. Is that wrong?
Okay, so if we talk about Anjum, she's not just a poet, she's a nightingale. For us, she is the nightingale of the group because she sings while she does her poetry and she lapses into different languages as she goes on, as you've seen here. She's also someone who blends her work according to the moods of the situation. So for example, like today we are talking about hope, you'll find that her natural tendency and her style is to pick up on what is around her. So because she's also an artist, I think her sensitivities are pretty well built. And I'm hoping for something really incredible from her, especially because she is going to introduce to us the poet of the day as well. Anyone else?
No. Anjum is an all-rounder, as we all know. She plays the sitar. Anjum, what don't you do, as we asked you the other day?
Yeah, we have to still figure out what she doesn't do.
Enough. Sorry, I'm back. I just get a little nervous, I guess, till now. actually, the piece that I'm going to do is last month, as in India, I said we all lost somebody from our family to COVID, and it was April, second part of April and beginning of May was very difficult for me as well. I lost my Guru Ustad Ji, or music Ustad, and my parents were sick, and it was a very difficult time, and every day there was news coming about somebody in my family or my friend's family, or and how things were. It was so difficult being in not being able to get oxygen, or it was a very, very difficult time. I'm sure you all followed what had happened, and so it's my grief that kind of poured out in these verses, and I would like to tell you the Urdu part in this. I have bought it from Iqbal's Shikwa, but I've kind of changed the context a little. But I've used his words in a different context. Well, not so much different, but kind of suiting to what my feeling was at that moment. And I have put this to music. It's a mix of Hindi and English. It starts with Urdu or Hindi कह लीजिए आप, और फिर थोड़ी English है, 2 verses in that. And so if with your permission, I'm going to start. फिक्र दुनिया की ना करूं, यूं ही मदहोश रहूं, नाले इंसान के सुनूं और दर्द महसूस ना करूं, मैं कोई गुल तो नहीं हूँ, मैं कोई गुल तो नहीं हूँ कि यूं खामोश रहूं. Endure, endure, oh my heart, endure. When the night is dark and the moon sings low, endure, endure, oh my heart, endure. Endlessly we wait on this dark night for the pain to numb, for spirits to rise. No respite in sight, and your soul bemoans. Endure, endure, oh my heart, endure. Though we may not be side by side, but this grief so real is yours and mine. Hold my hand, keep this fire burning in your eyes, for we'll soon see the glow of a new sunrise. We'll soon see the glow of a new sunrise. Endure, endure, just a bit more. Endure, endure, just a little bit more. Thank you.
Anjum, that was
Lovely,
marvelous.
lovely.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Marvelous.
fantastic.
Loved it.
Well
Very
done.
good.
Great.
Very, very touching. Very touching.
Very touching.
Very
Beautiful.
well done.
And
Hats off to you.
the words were very touching, and her singing put so much of emotion that one had tears in the eyes. It's very, very good, Anjum. Excellent.
Very good. Very good job.
It was sightless. I feel rudderless. I feel I have anger. He left me halfway through. He should have finished my rag at least. थोड़ा सा गत करके उन्होंने छोड़ दिया. He was not a regular teacher. He was one of those जैसे पुराने उस्ताद होते हैं जो really जो इल्म बांटते हैं, जो not just music but मुझे जिंदगी के बारे में भी और life किस तरह से मुश्किलों का सामना करो, ये घबराओ मत तुम, ये बहुत अच्छे से मुझे सिखाते थे. और when I was in school, that's when he started teaching me. So it's been a very long association, and I kind of poured my grief into this.
It was very good.
And I would like to do the poet of the day, but I think I'm a little overwhelmed right now. The poet of the day is supposed to be Pablo Neruda, and I'll just recite a few poems by him. He has a lot of love poems, and he's able to, say his piece with just a 2-line as he can with the whole, stanza after stanza. So 2 different poetry. In this one first liner that it's 1 line, and in that 1 line, the whole history of a relationship. So this is what the line is. Though this may be the last pain that she makes me suffer, and these the last verses, what I write for her. I'll read that again. Though this may be the last pain she makes me suffer, and these the last verses that I write for her. So it shows love, it shows the breakup, it shows heartbreak, it shows moving on in 1 sentence, and that how deep how intense this was relationship. As is another love poem. I do not love you as if you were a salt rose or topaz, or the arrow of carnations the fire shoots off. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. I love you as the plant that never blooms, but carries in itself the light of hidden flowers. Thanks to your love, a certain solid fragrance risen from the earth lives darkly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you straightforwardly without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know no other way than this, where I do not exist, nor you. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand. So close that your eyes close as I fall asleep. And another thing to remember about Pablo, that these are translations. When he wrote in Spanish, it must be like a completely different flavor, and so much of it comes through in his translations that I thank you.
Very touching.
Very nice, lovely.
And I open if anybody has any question, you can unmute and ask and share or discuss something, or share your poem if you want to.
Actually, everybody please unmute and let's just join in and all of us get into the babble of this group. So unmute yourself and just launch. Tell us everything that you'd like to. Did you like hearing us? Where did we go wrong? Well, most of it I'm sure was right, etc., etc.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go for it. Our ringleader has told you.
I want
she's
to
led.
share sunrise this morning. I wonder if you can see it.
Why don't you send it to me? I'll screen share it.
I've sent it already, Anju.
You have? I'm so sorry. Okay, I was not.
At 5 a.m. this morning, it was a new sunrise.
Wow.
And that reflected your poem, which was so beautifully done, Anju. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And where was this, Vivek?
In Mukteshwar.
Okay. So now that we know the place and all that.
Yeah.
Mukteshwar. Kahan hai Mukteshwar?
Mukteshwar is, well, it'll be, you'll know, it's about 1.5 hours from Nainital.
Acha, UP pe padta hai. Theek hai.
Uttarakhand.
Uttarakhand. Kya bataye yaar?
Where is your geography?
Hum purane.
Can I make a request? Can I make a request?
Yes.
That one by one, just bring in all those who have not said anything.
I'd like to pitch in first.
Yes, please.
My request is the amount of effort you all put in and amount of, we put in all the groups, but unfortunately only 20 people have come up. May I request that each member of the poetry group gets 5 people dedicated by name that you will join, and so that 20 of us get 5, we'll have 100 people attending this next poetry session. So each one task that I will say, okay, these are my 5 people who will attend. Anjum should say the other 5 people. Vinay should say the other 5 people. Justice Bala should say the 5 people. Let us next meeting, let us in the least attempt to have 50 to 60 people attending.
Kulpreet, can I just respond to this? See, poetry is not everybody's cup of tea. It's
no, that's
not
okay,
like
but just that somebody can just listen. We're not asking somebody to say a poem. We're just asking them to listen to it.
That's the sunset.
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Oh, sunrise.
It's almost like breaking through the clouds. Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Lovely. Really, very stunning.
Zafar is here.
The morning glow of a new sunrise. Vivek.
I fully agree with Jan. We need to have more participants, and the frequency of this event can be, say, bi-monthly, if not every month. And we need to give it a push. We need to have more people into it, and it need not be poetry alone. It can be anecdotes, it can be prose, it can be anything which is creative. It can be music, it can be songs. And we can have
Yeah, I mean, I love that, the enthusiasm. But one of the things about this is also that it's an enjoyable exercise, right? And as much as all of this effort goes into it, I think it's nice that there's this group who is there to appreciate each other, right? I don't know if everybody wants that extra job of going and finding more people. And it's advertised enough that, if your friends and family want to be part of this, or if anybody else does, it's great. And I believe Anjum also has another group for prose and things. So, and I think like the creative process needs a little time as well. So once a month is nice. It just gives enough time to think about things or come up with the next.
That's true, Ida, but we haven't been really following the once in month.
We haven't.
I think the core to our group is the fact that we are in flow with each other, and that is what keeps us together also, that flow which we have with each other. And besides what you see here, we also regularly, like, we don't talk in conversation, we talk in poetry. So that's another thing which is hidden from this space, but maybe one day we'll do that as well.
Start, Amrita, you're very good at it. If you just give Amrita one word and she'll compose a full poem right now for you.
So taking a cue from what everyone's saying.
Let's do one sunrise. Let's do
just a thought. Instead of looking for 5 bakras.
Bakras?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Not really.
I'm going to get
honored
5 guys.
invitees.
No, listen, hear me out.
Yeah, got it.
Connoisseurs.
Instead of forcing 5 people to come onto the thing, maybe the target should be for people to look for one new poet. So task yourself with.
No, let's not do. Pankaj, when this group came around, it was basically to break all rules and to kind of have a kind of a creative space where everyone could be in motion and do whatever. If we give everyone too much to do, it'll kind of break apart. But yes, we'll keep it in the back of our mind and try and get people together.
How many members are there right now?
We've got a few.
20.
The idea was not to force
20.
people, it was just to spread the good word.
Yes, that's right.
Try and identify new people who can join, who write themselves.
Most of the time we encourage.
The idea
most of the
was
time
to
we
take it
encourage
beyond
people
English.
to write themselves
That's all.
and do present their own poetry. I think today also most of it was written by us ourselves. Perhaps just 2 were not. But I definitely feel that we could add in things like anecdotes and music, but not more than that. I don't think prose would fit in here, for example.
Not prose.
No, so we have other groups for that. We have a prose group
I
as
think you
well.
should. I
We
think
have
you
a
should
collective,
stay.
creative collective as well, which is another
Yeah,
group.
but I think you should stay with. You should stay with poetry.
Yeah,
and-
let our flavor be what it is.
I think we should stay with
But you
poetry.
can add music to it because they
Poetry,
complement.
music,
Anything
and
which
anecdote.
accentuates it. Anything
Yeah.
which accentuates it. We are happy to do that.
I would
And have a-
like
and
if
have a time
somebody from
limit.
the audience, Zafar, do you want to share some poem with us?
Not at this point, but let me share my thoughts with you.
Yes, please.
This is the first time I attended.
Yes.
Why? Because I never heard about this group. And you guys, I don't know how long you've been meeting, but it's a very interesting session and I would love to come back again. So I think as people become aware of your presence and what you have to offer, more and more people will join. So just give it time. And you're having fun. And it doesn't matter whether there's 100 people there or 20. It is fun. It is interesting. And I'd love to come back again. And maybe in a couple of months, I'll bring something that I'd like to share with you.
Please, we'd like that. We would like that.
In fact, whoever would like to join our group is most welcome. We are all Sonarians here and the doors are always open. Please just let us know.
Yeah.
Any one of us. And we will add you up.
So how
My
long
name
have
is
you been meeting?
Rashmi, and this is my
We
first
have-
time joining. And I must say
Hi,
that I
Rashmi.
really enjoyed. Thanks, Anjum. We haven't met either. I'm Tanmoy's wife, and he said that this group might be more on my towards my interest. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So you were wondering where I came from, and I thought I was feeling a little shy to speak up because everybody here seems very well versed and extremely articulate. And
You're just
it's been a
loud.
treat. It's been a treat. No. It was if you were loud, then it was a loudness that needed to be heard. So it was extremely enjoyable for me. And I used to write a little bit of prose, never really tried poetry, though I enjoy listening to it. So I don't know, maybe I'll keep listening for a while.
Yes.
And I don't know if
Rashmi,
something's
Rashmi.
inside, it'll come out someday. But
Whenever you're comfortable,
Please,
we would love to have all of you join us
Yeah.
on the group where, as we were saying, that we like to do instant poetry. We make a word of the day. We put up a word of the day. And everybody has to make Hindi, English, Urdu, whatever they like. But they have to
Okay,
write
I've got one. I've got on sunrise.
Right, there you go.
that was
So
There you
let me share another thing with you. Amrita Verma is been named QGM in the group. And that's for, like, if you haven't got it, it's Quick Gun Murugan.
She's always the first
She
doctor.
is like, she
She's
just
always the
shoots
first
her.
after
Tuk, 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 tuk. She's
Anjum,
there.
who named him? Oh, who named her?
Uh,
Who named her?
Right? Yeah.
Who else?
Major General Kamru, the heavyweight in poetry. He's another one. He also comes up with, you know, the
party
one. And,
yeah.
And Rashmi, I want to tell you, and I want to tell everybody else that 6 months back is when I started writing too. I didn't even know when people said that, oh, I didn't know you wrote poetry. I said, you know, that makes the two of us. Even I didn't know I wrote. Just like how you get inspired and you just put it down, And once you start, then it kind of flows out. And most of us are like this in this group, barring Vinay and Amrita. I think we've made our first attempts in poetry, and it's been.
Arun is the pro. Arun is the pro.
Yeah.
And Mr. Malla,
just another quick thought.
Here's a young member too.
I did a
So
quick
if you want
check
to say hello.
right now to see how many people are registered on the Poets Corner, and it shows 9 members. And
That's very sad.
And taking from what Zafar said, that he wasn't aware, just a thought that the 20 members that you are right now, you must go and become members on the special interest group, because others who scroll through the website see 9 members and tomorrow they see 35 members, it'll generate some kind of interest. So
very true.
Can I just point out something, Pankaj?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
We are not on the website because first we were a part of that group. But then there was some little issue on that you will not speak Hindi poems and all that stuff. So we said, let's have a multilingual. Let me be very clear about it. So we said we made this multilingual and with no offense to anybody. So here anybody is welcome. And then we thought no rules, no regulations, no amount of people, no whatever direction, entirely up to you. Everybody is welcome.
Yes.
But we will put it there if you just give us that little multilingual angle. And since you will do it, I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Basically, both poetry, I'm in both of them. Each of them serves their own purpose, and they're very different in the way they kind of come out. So it's interesting to actually be in both. But multilingual also has a diversity and a little less on the strictures of explanation, etc. It just allows you to have a pleasurable understanding of the poem itself from your point of view. And we kind of have a lot of fun with what we do.
May I interject for a second? I also want to bring up the question of that we do have a third group, which is called the Rose Prose, which Anjum has started, and that is so much fun. We had the meeting just the other day. So I would, people who want to write prose should do that as well. I belong to all 3 groups now, so it's fun.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Amrita, please
looking
go
forward
ahead.
This is a poetry session.
Yes.
And I hope one day you will have a mukabla on the spot.
Of course, sir. On the spot, poet reunion. You try it, sir.
We do it in a group. Our group
Any
starts
of you
off.
want that, join our group. It's there already.
It's already there. We have like
we already have Mukabla.
Instant poetry.
Yeah.
Bandi.
Okay. So this was while we were talking. It's just 4 lines. So it goes as inspired from Vivek Mehra sir's image. Sunrise, it is our biggest prize, a gem, a metaphor of hope that opens closed doors. Here's to a new tomorrow, poem or prose.
Oh,
very good.
Nice.
Thank you. So we keep doing this, sir. We keep doing this all the time. And we also have like conversations where we take the conversation forward through poetry in our WhatsApp group.
I'm not a poet. I don't write prose, nothing. But I have a beautiful surrounding. I will keep sending you photographs. Keep converting them to poetry.
All right, sir. Done.
Poetry is the easiest because it's free flowing. There's no verse. There's no rhyme. Just add those 5 words which when you look at the sunrise or the sunset, put those 5 words together and you'll get your poem. It's so easy.
No, sir. And also it's basically about just being honest with yourself and just putting it out there.
That's all.
It's an introspection, that's it.
Yeah. I'll also say something that I had written actually some time back about sunrise, but Urdu mein hai.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, actually, I'll read out the whole thing to you. It's like on Mausam, like, you know, have faith, have whatever. तूफान है, मौसम बदलते टल जाएगा, गोला बर्फ का ग्लास में डालते पिघल जाएगा, जो उठा था दिल में एक चुभन बन, जो उठा था दिल में एक चुभन बन, कैसे ना सोचा दर्द बन रगों में दौड़ जाएगा, कैसे ना सोचा दर्द बन रगों में दौड़ जाएगा, है काला बादल तो बारिश बन बरसेगा जरूर कहीं, राइट? है काला बादल तो बारिश बन बरसेगा जरूर कहीं, मेरा नहीं किसी का सर तो भीगेगा सही, जब भरी हैं इतनी नफरतें इस जहां में अंजुम, जब भरी हैं इतनी नफरतें इस जहां में अंजुम, कैसे ना सोचा कि तू खुश रह पाएगा कभी। और खुशी है, खुशी पल दो पल की, जी खोल के जी ले इसे, है खुशी पल दो पल की, जी खोल के जी ले इसे, नहीं तो चुल्लू कर और पानी से भर ले इसे। नहीं तो चुल्लू कर और पानी से भर ले इसे। हो रात अमावस की रात, अंधेरी रात, ब्लैक न्यू मून, हो रात अमावस्या तो आतिशबाजी का मजा ले जरा, आतिशबाजी फायरवर्क्स, हो रात अमावस्या तो आतिशबाजी का मजा ले जरा, क्या पता कल तुलुए आफताब पर, आफताब इज सन, तुलुए आफताब इज राइजिंग ऑफ द सन, क्या पता कल तुलुए आफताब पर सुबह तेरी हो ना हो तुझे, क्या पता कल तुलुए आफताब पर सुबह तेरी हो ना हो तुझे, तूफान है मौसम बदल के टल जाए।
Yes.
Beautiful.
Excellent, excellent.
Anjum, could you please share this on the website on our multilingual? I would love to read this over and over again.
Okay.
Beautifully done.
I'll probably like maybe next.
Or email it to us. Email it to us either way, whatever you prefer. But it's really worth listening again.
I will.
I love Urdu, but I have no clue about how to go about reading, learning. I've never read it. I tried learning alif, be, pe, te, tis, all that. Yeah. I can make a few words. I can pass standard to Urdu, but it's something which I wish I had known more than Hindi or maybe English also. Love, beautiful language.
It is actually the reason being that it's borrowed from Arabic, from Persian, from Sanskrit, from Hindi. So it's like got the best of everything. And it, if you want to express an emotion, they are like so many words. There's so many ways that you could do it.
And Punjabi is very close to Urdu, incidentally.
Yes, indeed it is. And it has borrowed like Punjabi. That itself is is Persian. Punjab. It's Persian. और मैं आपको एक सीक्रेट बताऊं, मेरी भी उर्दू इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, मैं इतना पढ़ नहीं सकती हूँ, मैं रोमन हिंदी उर्दू में लिखती हूँ।
हम सबका ये हाल है, कोई बात नहीं।
रोमन उर्दू में, हालांकि थोड़ा एक आध लफ्ज पढ़ सकती हूँ इधर उधर, but when I
अंधों में काने राजा।
I must confess, I did not know Hindi, but they knew Urdu. And my father was a lover of music, and we would have music parties at home, ghazals, shairi, etc. I, as a 4 or 5-year-old guy, before I joined Sana, would sit there till late night. My mother would keep sending me off and listen to all this, not understanding a thing, but feeling everything.
Urdu is to be felt. Ghazals and all are supposed to be felt.
Yes.
I think it's the cadence, the cadence of how the words flow and how they make you feel.
Correct.
Yeah. My love for poetry has also come from my dad. I've listened to it. I've never felt confident enough to write it, but it's my dad who was a great. His ghazals. That's what I grew up listening to. So
I believe he has a big library also of poets and काफी autobiographies और उनके divan hai. Your dad has, right? That's what Tanmay was telling me.
Yeah. He does. He's He and my mom tried to. My mom was taking Urdu lessons, but I don't know if she still can read. Whether she still remembers it or not, because it's like, but she can understand. So she tried learning the script and how to like the grammar and everything of it, but I never did. I don't have the discipline, but yeah, it's the beauty of it, right?
But there's something where they say that language actually grows when speakers indulge in it. So actually language is also changing.
So language is for using.
So you have to encourage it and you
have to use it.
Prevent it from being dormant. That's all.
That's all. Yeah.
Can I add to the instant poetry? I've written 4 lines.
Please.
Hanji. Irshad.
Well, it's in English, so Irshad English.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Sunrises and sunsets, day after day. Then why the worry? It'll happen. Sorrow will only last the night. Sunrises will happen. Believe with all your might. That's my little contribution for the day.
And you've left us with a fight.
Always
Do
hope.
I get my 4 lines? Do I get
Yes.
my 4 lines?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, Vivek, this is for you. It says, Chalo Mukteshwar Chale.
Oh, how nice.
So it goes like this. सूरज तो मेरा है.
अच्छा.
कि तेरा है.
वाह.
छोड़ो. एक नई
नहीं,
सुबह
आपकी आवाज कट रही है. आपकी आवाज कट रही है. फिर से शुरू करो.
So I'll start again. चलो मुक्तेश्वर चले.
और थोड़ा धीरे स्लोअर बोलिए, स्लोअर पेस, क्योंकि कई लफ्ज मिस हो जा रहे हैं.
चलो मुक्तेश्वर चले. सूरज तो मेरा है कि तेरा है. छोड़ो एक नई सुबह उगाएं, एक नई बस्ती बसाएं. चलो मुक्तेश्वर चले. That's all.
Too good.
Very nice.
Rajiv.
This has a very deep meaning.
I don't know.
It means we're jumping into the car tomorrow and going.
There are 2 lines from an old poem.
Everybody is welcome. Please come to Mukteshwar. And it means a place of mukti.
I'll send you this poem tomorrow. I'll write it and send it to you.
Very nice.
I think we can have a Urdu challenge one day. Just start off in your own way. 4 to 8 words in Urdu in our next meeting. Whatever form it is. Or Hindustani, I'll call it, or Urdu, Hindustani.
Sir, Rajiv sir, I'm going to reparty on yours. I'm reparting on yours with 2 lines, okay?
Everybody wants to go home.
एक सर का रहन बसेरा है, पर अब इन दोस्तों ने उनको घेरा है.
Oh, right. I'm going to put somebody on a spotlight just now. बहुत चुपचाप बैठे सुन रहे हैं आप, और नाम हमें पता नहीं है. यूजर 1 के नाम से जाने जाते हैं.
Mr. Jay Singh.
Okay, sorry. Hello, sorry, Jay.
Jay Singh, my class of 61, Himalaya.
Oh, nice. Let's hear something from you, sir. यहाँ पर सब पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, चाहे बोल के या कुछ अपना आज कैसा था दिन.
कुछ चुप ही हो गए. जय, आप कहाँ हैं? मेरी क्लास को लेट डाउन मत करो. जय, हेलो तो बोल दो.
He's on mute. Unmute. बोल रहे हैं.
Just unmute everybody.
I can't unmute. I can mute all, but I can't ask all to unmute. I can do that.
जय, उठ जाइए, बोलिए कुछ.
The person who's helped him switch on the TV, his son or grandson, help him unmute.
No, he's doing it. He's doing it. You can see his hand moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to come like this, and I'm not even dressed for the occasion. But
artist ऐसे ही dress up होते हैं, sir. कुत्ते में.
But I was truly enjoying all the poetry and all the banter, and thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Please carry on. I'll come.
Okay, I think is.
Okay. Thank you, Jay.
Anjum,
Even for that, thank you.
Some Kale Badal pics if you want to have a one on them, following your poetry of Kale Badal.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I've sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it to me.
Photograph. I'm a non-poetry guy. I only listen. आवाज की दुनिया का दोस्त हूँ. I listen.
अच्छा.
That is the poetry, na?
Sir, अगर आप आवाज की दुनिया के दोस्त हैं तो कभी हमारे होस्ट भी बन जाइए. We have a place for everyone, sir.
To say दोस्त हूँ मैं तुम्हारी मौसीकी का. That way.
मौसीकी.
दोस्त हूँ मैं तुम्हारी मौसीकी का, दोस्त हूँ मैं तुम्हारे शब्दों का. And that's your poem is ready.
I must mention to everybody, I formed 4 years ago, almost 4.5 years ago, a music group called Lutf. And we used to meet every month at my farm in the open air by the poolside, and people would come and sing. And it was a potluck. After COVID, it's actually become a every Friday affair.
Oh.
Every Friday they meet. Anybody wants to become, it's voluntary, it's completely free. Anybody can just come in and join in. Anybody who loves to sing, they encourage people to sing. And I've actually, my cousins and others have carried on with it. I've not been able to keep pace with them. Every Friday they sing for 3 hours in the evenings. And I think every day they have something or the other happening. So it's unbelievable.
I joined twice, but I've not been able to because it's Friday morning.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So it's like I'm in middle of something, or just before the weekend, getting some, finishing some work and getting some stuff done. So I've not been able to, but I've joined a few. It has been quite interesting.
Let's wrap up.
Let's wrap up. Okay.
Yeah, let's wrap up.
Sleeping time ho gaya hai, sir?
Yeah, 10, 43
Your Honor.
people have to sleep.
Where's your gavel?
My gavel is in the High Court. No longer
Sir, you have another gavel. It's with your speech only. You can manage.
Thank you everybody for coming. We'll let you know, we'll inform you or message me, reach out to me, and we'll invite you next time as well. And please invite people who friends of yours who are interested and they'd like to be or would like to be part of this. हम सबको अपने खुले हाथों से welcome करते हैं. Or I'm not very good at switching over, I think. With English and
but it was very nice. It was a
Thank you,
lovely-
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.